So we got a little bit of a rust problem here on the Mustang. I figured it might be a little worse than that rust hole on the outside. Chris was working on it and then he just pulled the door off. Best way to handle this is with the door off. So what we're going to do is this video here is going to be on pie cutting and overlap welding and piecing in sheet metal to make this shape. A lot of you guys will look at this and go, oh my god, there's no way to fix that, that's just too hard. This is going to be a little step-by-step. All these parts, I'm going to try and put them all together in one video to show you how to get this done on your car if you had the same situation. Opened up the way we want. We kept our little piece here that we took out. You want to do that because you still need to form that same shape when you go to put it back in. And then the next step is to go ahead and I'm going to use this product. There's about 10 or 20 or 30 different products like this you can use. This stuff's available at the hardware store. It's Permatex rust treatment. I use a lot of different ones. They have one from Rust-Oleum that comes out black, Rust Reformer, and they're all about the same price. And you just go ahead and coat everything. Don't worry about runs or anything like that. Get a nice heavy coat on there everywhere you can get it. You know, sometimes I'll take an acid brush and shove it in everywhere. And you can kind of see the rust is already starting to turn from red to kind of black. And then this stuff is like a clear coat. So it's actually treated and it's actually coated as well. So but I don't worry about runs or anything like that. I just make sure I get it everywhere it'll go. You know, back in the holes in the corners, back up in here. Yeah, just make sure it's completely coated, nice and heavy. So we're going to say that looks pretty good right there with that coated. Then we'll start making our metal. We'll go ahead and fill this thing in, make it look just like it was never there when we're done. Alright, next portion of the video we'll show the metal pieces getting welded in, and we'll make this thing go away. Alright, talk to you in the next portion. Now so we're going to do the other side so we can back it up like this instead of trying to butt weld a piece in, which, you know, we're not looking for that kind of repair. This will be really nice and strong. We'll spot weld this in place and then probably weld it from the other side when we flip the door over to make it a lot easier. Trying to weld from this side going up, get a lot more poppy. This is electro galvanized steel, so it's a little tiny bit harder to weld. It's not galvanized. It's got a electrolysis coating that keeps it from rusting. So I like to use this metal for repairs because it doesn't rust as fast as the other stuff. It's a little harder to weld, but it does come out a lot better in the long run. So now we've got this piece welded in here like that, and then there's a couple pinholes here where there's, you know, probably some rust inside. We didn't really want to get into doing the whole corner, which if you did that, all you would do is just cut way up here and then make that piece separate, and then you'd roll this one into that one. So basically what we did is we took a flat piece of metal and bent it around the corner, and that's the next step. So the next step is going to be to actually make the piece that you lay over. So we're going to make this piece here that's going to go from right here around to here, around to here. We're going to make it a little bit longer, and then we're going to cut slits in it. I'll show you what that looks like before we get it welded in on that one. We're going to cut slits in it, and we're going to do something called pie cutting the metal. So that's how you do this stuff when you have to make your pieces. And we're going to go ahead and pie cut that in so that this fits just like it did. It kind of follows that down and goes down to there. Alright, talk to you in the next portion. Make sure that you subscribe and like the video. Please do that now because we need your help to stay in the guidelines that or the next guidelines, whatever they're going to be. We're okay right now, but yeah, if you see anybody who's less than 1,000, make sure you subscribe and like them too. Thanks. So I got my piece of metal cut like this. It's kind of extra big. You can see it's kind of bigger here figure there. And what I'm going to do is first of all, I'm going to cut the bottom edges, and I'll show you what that's like in a second. So you cut slits in it like this, and then you're going to do your bending afterwards. Alright, so it's going to look something like this, and I'm using these duck belt pliers that you have. These are Harbor Freight tools. If you need some, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, they have some cheap ones there. Get some good ones if you want to. Then what you do is you just start cutting. I'm going to underlay over here. I'm going to underlay over here, so I'm going to cut a slit in here so it slides underneath. Get your pies working. Start to cut it around here. Alright, so we're just kind of working our way along here. Then I'll have to rebend these. It's a bit of a finesse trying to get this bent because this is a really, compounded cut. So, but we'll get it here shortly. I'll have this ready to go. So you get it like this, start bending your pie cuts to get it to go around the corner the way you want it to. So then we're working our way along, and so we're going to have to trim these still. We're not going to worry about getting the door edge perfect because it's underneath the door. So, but we're going to go ahead and trim all this stuff here after we get this set. But I need to bend this nice little radius around here, and I'm going to have to do that with a hammer and chisel. This is the compound cutting, pie cutting nightmare. No, but it's not that bad. It looks really tough, but it just takes time. You can't just whip this thing out of nothing. So we've got our pie cuts going along. So what we're going to have to do now is go ahead so we can have it so it's workable. Let's go ahead and weld it in. Start welding it in, spot welding it, and then bending it, spot welding it, building it until we fit it all in place, and we'll show you how that looks in a little bit. Alright, so we'll take a look at the progress here. Got a little bit of mountain going on there, I guess. We can probably knock it down. It doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as it shuts, the door shuts and the rubber works. I mean, it's a little bit of a tricky spot. We're going to go ahead now, we're going to cut these and then fit these into place. We'll make another piece of metal for that. So now we're into making the last piece. So, it doesn't, we're going to trim this down to fit in here, and then just make all this piece here. We'll end up overlaying and underlaying a little bit right there to make it work out. Maybe we'll just cut that whole piece off, and then we'll set it in there, and you'll see what it looks like in a little bit. Alright, so we're getting it down to the nitty gritty here. Just going to grind this down a little bit more. I don't know, we might put a little bit of filler in there, but not much. I'm just going to, we'll do a little bit to kind of clean it up. A real thin coat of something. We're not going to make it super cherry. But once we get all this all ground down, it should be done. Alright. Alright, so there we are. That's it for the metal repair. The rest is going to be just a little thin coat of filler. We're not going to make it super fancy because if you notice over here, look at, it was never really nice. They just, it's the bottom corner. You can't see it unless you're sitting underneath it on the ground. So, but that's how you do that pie cutting, and how you fix a piece like that and fabricate it yourself. I don't even know if those are available. They might be for this car, for Ford Mustang. You probably have to buy the whole bottom half of the door, and it'd be, $500 or something. Anything for a Mustang is probably really expensive, I'm sure. I didn't even look because this, took us maybe 3 hours to do. So, why not just fix it if we can do it? All right, so that's it for the pie cutting. I'll talk to you guys on the next video. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and definitely give it a like. We like to hear those things, and if you have any comments, please leave them below. We really love to hear what you have to say about our videos, even if you like them or don't like them. We love to cause crap out there. I don't mind hearing the, oh man, you did that the wrong way and whatever. Hey, if you do that, cool. Also post a link of your video, how much better it is. We'd love to see it. Thanks. Talk to you next video.